Shink coming to us out of Reedsburg, Wisconsin here tonight. International 1466. He is a former Grand National Champion in the Super Farm class in 2022. And also a former sled operator for many, many years, 30 plus years. Good, tough running machine here tonight, fans. Coming to us out of the Dairyland, Mr. Gary Shink. Always tough down here at Brandenburg, and he loves it here. They are starting to figure things out on our pulling surface here tonight, fans. No doubt about it. But your leader continues to be Mr. Dan Schulte and the Binder Express as we get ready for the new attitude. Mr. Gary Shink out of Reedsburg, Wisconsin. Our mark to beat is 3:01 and 31. Well, they're figuring it out, fans. No doubt about it. Right in the track to Ryan Anderson. So the track is getting better. They're figuring it out over there. No doubt about it. 3:03 and 47 is the new mark to beat for Gary Shink. That's going to put Dan Schulte in the number 2 spot at 3:01 and 31. And Ryan Anderson goes to the number 3 position at 3:01 and 05.
So your winner tonight's going to be Brooke Ferris at 3:06 and 73. Shane Hunt in the number 2 spot at 3:04.30. Gary Shink in the number 3 spot here tonight, 3:03.47. Dan Schulte goes number 4 at 3:01.31. Ryan Anderson in the number 5 spot at 3:01.05. Lee Butts goes 6 tonight at 300.36. Stan Warda in the number 7 spot at 300.05. Nick Capozzo in the number 8 spot at 298 and 87. Jason Shaendorf was 9th at 298 and 56. Joe Bush and Fear the Deer in the 10th spot, 297 and 83. So how about a nice round of applause, fans, for all of our Super Farm competitors here tonight. We will pull them up front here and do our trophy presentations. So backing in the new Attitude Machine coming to us out of Reedsburg, Wisconsin here tonight. This will be Gary Shink. He was on the podium with the machine here last night. So he was number 3 here last night with the new Attitude, but he is a very tough competitor, a former sled operator for many, many years up there in Wisconsin. Was your 2022 Grand National Champion in Super Farm. International 1466. New Attitude. Coming to us out of Reedsburg, Wisconsin. There is a farmer, excavator, also does some trucking up that way. Pulling since around 1971. Here comes that new Attitude. Your mark to beat continues to be 3:11 and 99. Unfortunately, Gary did not like that one. See if we can back him up. Give him another crack at it here. You have two attempts. If you can get out of the tractor before the 100-foot mark. All right, Gary Shink in the new attitude. Second attempt here. Reedsburg, Wisconsin-based machine. International 1466. Well, he had a good run, fans, but he really had to touch the brake there. Wanted to take him off to the right. And he was stabbing that brake to try to keep it in bounds over there. Took it off to the left. Here's your pull distance for Gary Shink, 307.13. 307.13. 307 feet 13 for the new attitude. Number 10 was Doug Heyman in the Bulls binder, 304 and 61. Number 9 tonight, Jason Shaendorf in the Risky Business. Number 8, John Silsby in the Crop Doctor, 306 and 26. Number 7 tonight, the new attitude of Gary Shink, 307 and 13. Number 6 was Lee Butts in the Press On, 307 and 96. Ryan Anderson goes 5 tonight, 308.20. Wayne Lamore in Fear the Deer with a good pass at 309 and 88 for 4th. Stan Warda in the Hammer and Hank in the number 3 spot here tonight at 310.90. Dan Schulte in the Binder Express at 311.72. And Brooke Ferris sweeping the weekend. Assorted Nuts, 311.99.
Great crowd here tonight in Rockwell, Iowa, North Iowa Nationals. If you can't be here, we encourage you to head over to fullpull.live.
Check out that shirt Tim is wearing.
I told
wow.
Tim, that's Tim the promoter, I said,
yes.
Goodwill called and they want their shirt back. And then he said something funny that I can't say.
Yeah, he's rocking that shirt. Good looking shirt tonight.
But they're proud Lions here. The Chapel Hill's here as well.
Yes, we saw him down at the end of the track there.
Bowman, Big Phil, Big Shade, Phil.
Big Shade.
And Joe, another one of those. They had their best crowd ever on Saturday night in Chapel Hill.
That is awesome to hear. That is awesome to hear.
And you were one of the announcers down there. You got to work with Charles down there up in the booth. You two sound amazing together.
Yep, been to Chapel Hill a couple years announcing there, and it's always a fun time. But
I asked them if they were going to wear sweatshirts tonight after being in 110-degree heat. Gary Shink fans. Again, kind of that's left to center spot. They really have. I haven't seen the sled move too much yet. Have you? Over here on the Super Farm side.
So the idler bearing on the red sled, that the belt drive that actually runs the transmission, broke.
Oh.
So the idler broke.
That's why we have.
So they're heading to Napa right now to get another one. Yep.
All right, fans, here we go. 3:54 still a distance beat. Brad Hart in the lead with Don't Ask. Gary Shink out of the great state of Wisconsin, Reedsburg to be exact. He calls his tractor New Attitude. They're probably leaving the starting line 4,500 RPMs. Kind of pedaling a little bit, Dan. Here he goes.
That's going to be a good one. Yep, yeah, that's going to be a good one. You saw it kind of settle in.
Yep. When the Super Farms kind of do that, Their gear is matched to the tire. It's at maximum performance, and it's hooking. It's hooking and grabbing, hooking and grabbing. Again, not overpowering the track. They don't have the horsepower. They don't have the turbo. They don't have the fuel. They don't have the air to do that. But they get hooked to the track, and they'll put on a good show.
Smaller rear tire, 24.5 inch wide, like their big cousin, the Pro Stock.
Yep.
So all those single charger classes all run that 24.5 inch wide tire.
Like we see the 30.5s over here in our diesel super stocks. So as you watch the replay there, Gary Shink, new attitude. He burns.
Yeah, you'll see right about in this spot here.
It's starting to work.
Oh, good run.
Just short, 353.95, about a foot short.
So there we take a look at the Super Farm leaderboard. Binder Express, Dan Schulte will be our winner here tonight. Assorted Nuts will finish up in the number 2 spot. Check it out, Ryan Anderson. We see Brooke Ferris again in that number 4 spot. New attitude, Gary Shink will finish out the top 5 here tonight in Super Farm.
So it all worked out pretty good, and it's got a good home. The Aftermath pulling team is and who bought it out of the Netherlands.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, because we had seen, Keith Horst do the driving. Got a win with it, didn't he?
I think so.
Yep, he got a win with it there. And, just you guys were plugging in, to help out there and just,
and Adam Barr.
Yeah,
Adam Barr.
Adam Barr, It's just unbelievable, everybody helping out.
And they sometimes get help make the weight.
Yes, there you go. All right, Gary Shink, good run.
Yeah.
The new attitude. Now, he worked that right side of the track. We've kind of seen him gone down the left side here last couple, but Gary Shink, he'll definitely shake that up. Now, 346.49, the mark to beat here. Brooke Ferris with the Assorted Nuts. And we will see what comes up here for the distance.
Yeah, that right side was a good spot to pick at this time.
All right, so 353.96. We got ourselves a new leader. 353 and 96. So we'll put him back in that number 1 spot here. Gary Shink, always a tough runner. Of course, a former Grand National champion. And, we talk about that, Dennis, looking at the Super Farm class, they're just sprinkled all the way through. Everybody at one time had been a Grand National champion in that class. And Gary got the job done back in 2022. So there we take a look at our leaderboard for the Super Farms.
It's the Category 1 out of Sydney, Illinois. Jeremy Nelson coming up on the north side.
Over here on the south side, a tough run-in tractor's the first of 3 Grand National Championship winning vehicles right in a row. The Gary Shink, then Stan Warda and John Silsby.
A big, huge thank you to a brand new sponsor, J.E. Dunn Construction, focused on providing an exceptional client experience while delivering safe, quality projects nationwide. That's J.E. Dunn Construction.
Absolutely. First and foremost, these guys, my family, my wife Lindsay, the kids. Got Nate here with me from Sandridge Customs. He built my chassis and my hauler rig. Scott and Curtis both work on the truck for me and helped us build it. So, first and foremost, these guys. Second, the blue shirts. I mean, this is the best there is, man. Everybody.
You can never count that guy out. He's won national championships. And he was, ladies and gentlemen, the test puller. And you won't see this very often. But the test puller didn't even come to the track where he's guaranteed the opportunity to turn down a hook. He said, I'll waive my option and go right to last. 3:23 and 8. And the consistency there, if you look, you'll see we go 323, and then a bunch. The top guys were all at 315 and some change. And even beyond that, 4, 5, 5, and 6 all the way down. Very, very close competition here. We've got
talk about the points here in Super Farm. We've got 2, 2, and 2 separating the top 3 tractors right now. So here we go. Gary Shivink working that right of center. Kind of threw his arm up there, kind of maybe some disgust from Gary Shivink. Now he comes in here number 2 in points.
As you said, it's tight. He cannot afford to give up any ground. It will be important.
42.86. We're going to trade out number 2 spot. Just short, about a foot short of that number 1 spot here tonight. Greg Freese, our leader.
Power isn't limited to pulling fields. Apex turbos are built for performance, reliability, and results. Whether you're on the track, in the field, or chasing your next win, Apex Turbo brings the boost you need to stand out and stay ahead.
The Press On International will take the big win here as we'll take a look at our final finishers. As Shane Maston at Thumpin' Pumpkin, the only orange one in the class, will finish up number 2. The Deer Tracks, Greg Freese will finish up number 3. Gary Shivink, the new attitude. He had a good points afternoon right there with the new attitude ride. Number 5 spot, Hammer and Hank. There's a look at the current points for the Super Farm class. And as you said, Gary Shivink, boy, he has been running like a madman here these last 3-4 weeks.
Yeah, start with Bowling Green. He just went on an absolute tear and take himself right to the top of the points order. See if he's got another one stored up in that 1466 of his. Very good ride for Gary, but early in that run, I briefly had my doubts. I don't know if he slipped on the throttle handle or was just giving it the old Tim Engler pump the throttle there to get it hooked up.
I was thinking the same thing, the old double pump right there, and maybe we'll call it the Shivink double pump here from now on. But
337.085, number 2, 337.085. Ferris Absolutely Nuts is your winner tonight. You got Ryan Anderson checking out, finishing number 2. The Deer Tracks, number 3. 4 spot, the Crop Doctor. And Fear the Deer of Wayne Lamore finishes number 5. A new attitude. At 6 spot, Lee Butts press on number 7. Chasing a Dream. 8th spot again. Thumpin' Pumpkin, Shane Maston at number 9. And Kevin McNaught, Green Energy, your top 10.
Speaking of finishing out the class, we go over here Super Farm side. Now, we haven't heard any official word on Lee Butts, but they just took him off the track, and it did not look good, Mark.
It didn't sound good. The only hope was maybe his air intake closed. But
all right, so they just gave us the he's done sign. So he is officially done here tonight. A tough break there for Lee Butts. So we'll get the distance in officially for Lee as Gary Shivink. This tractor here really been on a hot streak here as of late. Reedsburg, Wisconsin, the new attitude. And Gary, the points leader, 3 wins on the summer. Swept Bowling Green, Ohio. We saw him win in Rockwell as well. Also won the ring in Bowling Green. So he's looking for big things here this weekend with that new attitude tractor. 2023 Enderley winner.
Got to cheer for the Wisconsin boy.
Okay, all right. So Reedsburg, Wisconsin. So how far is that from you, Mark?
Probably, I'm 2 hours north of there. Yeah.
Okay. So you would say Reedsburg's probably central Wisconsin or
more
southern?
Wisconsin.
Okay.
Believe it or not, we are where I live in central Wisconsin. The rest of the world calls it northern Wisconsin, but we are in the center of Wisconsin.
Okay.
It's just that Wisconsin is that long.
Okay. So here we go, our final tractor, Super Farm class, the high torque Super Farms for 2025, as Gary Shivink, just by making this hook, will be crowned a Grand National Champion here. Well, Mark, did he put a bow on the season? So a good night for the Payne team. As we'll get the distance in here for Gary Shivink at 3:36.01. 3:36.01 will conclude our Super Farm class. We'll put Gary Shivink in that number 4 spot. But officially, he'll be crowned Grand National Champion by making that run here tonight. So congratulations to Gary and his team. And we'll repeat from 2022 when he got the job done for the first time. So not too bad for him.
Gary comes out of Reedsburg, Wisconsin. Congratulations, sir. Grand National Champion. And number 2 on the wall at home. Am I correct? Congratulations, sir. That's a big check right there. Shows up what's going on. The Grand Champion. He's got a pile of stuff down here in front of him. You've heard Dan talking about it all evening long, all of our sponsors kicking in, and all that goes home with you. Congratulations. Appreciate it, Gary.
Hello, I'm Greg Randall, NTPA Executive Director. I'm joined by Charles Posch, my co-host on the NTPA Championship Polling Series presented by Case IH on RFD TV and NTPA Voice during the summer. Charles is going to be an integral part of something we want to talk to you about coming up Friday, December 5th, and Saturday, December 6th in Orlando, Florida. It's the NTPA Grand National Convention and Awards Banquet. It's at the Doubletree Orlando at the entrance of Universal Studios. We're excited to be down there. It's a great location, and we're going to have a lot of great things coming up at that convention banquet. We're going to have a band on Friday night, reception. We got a promoter seminar. We got competitor seminar. A lot of different programs we're putting together. And on Saturday night, Charles and Dan Schreier will be emceeing the Grand National Awards Banquet.
This event's open to all of our Grand National competitors and their families. Those of you in Regions 1 and 2, well, we've got a special banquet scheduled for Saturday, January 10th. Stay tuned for details to come forth on that. And for those of you who are fans of NTPA Championship Polling, we want you to celebrate with us the 2025 season as well. We will be live streaming on fullpoll.live. We'll be able to log in there and find more details when it becomes available. We want you to celebrate our champions with us.
Without all of our competitors and fans, we wouldn't be the greatest motorsport in the world. Thank you for being a part of the NTPA family, and we look forward to seeing you soon.